I'm Vanessa Joy, and we are diving into the brand new Canon EOS R6. So at first you might think that this camera is sort of like a 6D Mark II, but it is much more powerful than that. In fact, the image sensor in here is the same image sensor and processor as the DSLR camera, the flagship Canon 1DX Mark III, which is a camera I own. So I'm pretty excited that I can get that sensor in a nice, portable, smaller body and a mirrorless camera. Now the R6 shares a lot of similar properties with the 1DX Mark III with some added bonuses like animal eye focus. I know that's gonna make a lot of you pet photographers, safari photographers really, really happy. So now you have all of that infinite cosmic power in an itty bitty living space that's really good for fitting into camera bags for vloggers and moms and streamers and Instagrammers, street photographers, you name it. So mimicking the Canon 1DX Mark III, that means you have a 20.1 megapixel image sensor and the Digic X processor. ISO range is from 100 to 102,400 and expandable to double that. You have dual pixel CMOS autofocus covering 100% area with 1,053 autofocus areas featuring face, eye, and head detection and animal eye detection. Now on to the important thing that I know all of you are thinking, yes, it has in-body image stabilization. And when you pair that with an image stabilized lens, like this brand new RF85 2.0 that I have right here, and you have up to 8 stops of stabilization. How fast is this thing? We have 12 frames per second with a mechanical shutter and 20 frames per second on the silent electronic. You want to hear it, don't you? I know you want to hear it. Who wouldn't want to hear it? Let me show you what it sounds like. Oh yeah, nothing in electronic, but I swear it's firing. So we have high ISO, we have an amazing sensor, a killer processor, we have IBIS, we have fast shutter. This camera has an absolutely gorgeous vari-angle LCD touchscreen, and then the EVF is 0.5 inch, 3.69 million dots with 120 frames per second refresh rate. Yes, it has dual SD card slots for that added security. Obviously an ask from Canon users, so I'm happy that it's in here, and this is now a camera that I could definitely take to weddings or seeing my second shooters use on jobs. Any video content creator is going to love this camera. The R6 has 4K at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 120 frames per second. You flip around the LCD screen, you can easily record yourself doing vlogs or makeup tutorials, and of course selfies here and there. The camera is super easy to use, and for me, being primarily a DSLR shooter and being used to bodies like the 5D Mark IV and the 6D Mark II, it has a very similar ergonomic feel. So unlike some of the previous mirrorless cameras, you now have this beautiful dial back here, and on the top it just is a more similar feel to at least what I'm used to. I don't know the exact price point yet, but since this camera is geared towards amateur enthusiasts and content creators and vloggers and people of that nature, I think it's going to be in that prosumer type price point. Overall, I'm loving the way that the R6 feels. It's easy to use, it's light, and again, especially paired with this new lens, it's amazing. This 85 2.0 gives a beautiful image quality, going all the way down to 2.0, and it has image stabilization. I've had a lot of fun with this camera. I've taken it on shoots, I've used it with my kids, we've gone on hikes, and I've even seen what it's like hooked up to a gaming system while you're streaming for something like Twitch. If you want some more fun, make sure you download my free PDF on posing. It's great for individuals, couples, and groups, completely free. Click the link below. It has all the ports you'd expect, like headphones and mic and micro HDMI out. And you've got a battery that most of us are familiar with, the LP6NH. Hey, no new chargers. Yay! If you want to check out more about this camera, hit the link in the description below. I'm Vanessa Joy here with Canon, and I hope you've had fun learning about the new Canon EOS R6.